Welcome to Rangers Radio on the Matchday show, the world's one and only unique live phone-in show for Rangers supporters all over the world. Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, here on the show this evening. It's a one and only GB. Evening, GB.
Good evening, Ox there. How is one?
One is not too excited, mate, which is very, very unusual. 29 years of age, mate. I'm usually always up for the Rangers playing, but I feel as if I'm still hungover, mate.
Aye, I totally understand.
Did I say 29?
Aye.
I maybe got that wrong, but carry on.
Birthdays change from year to year, mate. That's what happens.
Maybe I get the numbers right way around there, mate, if I'm honest.
No, I totally get it, Ox. It's been a bit of a hangover, and especially like I said with the presser yesterday, we got Mayor told about how much we needed more of a rebuild, and like I said, the manager was kind of, some of the stuff he was saying was kind of concerning me, and I don't know. Like I said, I was quite glad I wasn't on the show last night, to be honest, Ox, because I knew I was quite miffed with the manager, to be fair, more than what I was with Lundstrom.
I was also, before we go into the night's game, if I'll be honest with you, I actually thought John Lundstrom was lucky last night, because I think the manager deflected for the John Lundstrom's mental decision. You know.
Aye,
anyway,
I agree.
That's gone, mate. We can't do anything about it. We've got a game tonight, and I believe you've got the team for us, mate.
I have, bud. Right, so starting 11 is Butland, Tav.
Did you say right? He's not playing, is he?
I hope not. I've not read the full team out yet. Right, starting 11. Butland, Tav, Davies, King, Ridvan, Raskin, Diamande, Cantwell, McCausland, Silver and Dessers. The subs for tonight is McCory, Dill, Scott Wright, dare I say it, Roof, Barisic, Yefeko, Fraser, Lowry and McKinnon.
Okay, as far as the actual starting 11 is concerned, mate, obviously Butland, Tavernier, Davis, you could argue, could be in the first team. Young King has spent a lot of time on the bench. Ridvan, a lot of people would argue, first choice left back. Raskin, who done all right when he came on. Diamande and Cantwell have been integral parts in the last few months. McCausland's in and out, and Silver and Dessers have played every week because of all the injuries we've got, mate. So there's not a lot of surprises in there. There's no real youth. What I'm interested about, GB, is where Raskin's going to play. If he plays in the midfield for a forward, or will he go back and get the ball off the centre-backs? Is the same frustrations we've had with John Lundstrom, mate?
I think, for the looks of it, mate, it's just a kind of like for like, isn't it? Although I do agree with you for the weekend that Raskin actually played really well when he came on. I just hope that it's like you says, it's. But at home, Ox, the pressure's off them in a sense. They've got to just go out and, like I say, show something to the fans.
I agree.
But as for Raskin, I'm actually kind of glad he's getting a start, and I'm hoping that he can show some of the form that he showed when he first joined us, Ox. Because
it's been strange. I think we've all found it strange. Some of the players that's ended up on the bench when we've cried out for some men and we gained game time. I've been critical on young Raskin. I think his distribution's no ideal for a midfielder. But again, he's a young guy learning his trade. He's been unlucky with injury. But on Saturday, he brought us an energy that nobody else had, mate.
Aye, he fought for the box. He did, like you says, he was up the park there. Defended well, I felt, as well. Like I says, he contributed more than a lot of them at the weekend. And like I says, maybe this kind of period out that he's kind of started to realise that he's going to have to fight for his position, Ox. And sometimes that's a good thing. Brings out the best in a player. and maybe he's trying to fight for his future as well. I think, like I says, these next 2 games, Ox, with the way injuries are, I think these players have got to kind of stake a claim, or else, like I says, the manager will put them probably on the short list as well. There's players that is maybe no needed going forward, so it's up to them to kind of save their future.
I think if you get man in a match the next 2 games, it's not going to make a jot of difference, GB.
So even for asking for the cup final, no?
I don't think it'll make a jot of difference.
I'd be disappointed with that.
You'll come into play for maybe getting a cup final spot, but it'll maybe not make a decision in your future going forward, mate.
No, this late stage of the season, you're right, mate. But no, I think what I says for him coming back into the team, for even the fans, because always have been questioning what his future's going to hold and stuff like that. If we see something, then I says hopefully we hold on to him.
I'm just going to check how many games he's actually been involved in this season, mate. But good to see young Redvan starting as well, mate. No offence to Borna, but Redvan got injured at the wrong time for him, and we missed him. And I thought he improved the team when he came on at the weekend. GB.
Mm-hmm. I mean, again at the weekend, that ball that we were all screaming for Scott Wright to play through to him, and he didn't. And that just shows you the difference with Redvan. He's just more direct. No fear as well. They like to come out for the back. I mean, a lot of the stuff with Warner at the weekend was kind of lumping the ball up high and long, whereas the boys seem to be more relaxed and play the ball on the deck and get forward, and that between him and Raskin, there's a good wee partnership there.
I'm just getting it. By the way, Nico Raskin has started. I think he's been involved in 44 games this season. He started 11 league games. That surprised me. And been sub 5 times. He's been involved in 28 games this season, 19 starts. And 9 in the subs, mate. Yeah. I'm actually surprised.
28 games is mental.
I never thought he was involved in that many games this season, did you?
No. I just think it must be then, Ox, that he's just been right down the pecking order, because I think, like, Dowell and that's been getting a nod in front of him and stuff like that, and then, like, that says there's Lawrence and stuff. But, no, again, just it's time for him to obviously take his opportunity. I think what I says, when he first came in, we could see that kind of bulldog about him. I mean, he would get in there, he'd win the ball back, and again, it was just his distribution. It was letting him doing at times, and we thought that would develop, and that's maybe just what he's needing, Hawks. He's maybe just needing more game time in a settled team. I think that is going to help a lot of the players, hopefully going forward, Hawks, that we get a settled squad and they all get to know each other a wee bit better with how each other works and stuff like that. I think it's been too much chop and changing, and it's just been an absolute nightmare in the sense with results and
injuries, mate. Injuries. Right, people join us all the time. Give us a team.
Right, I'll not say it again. Butland, Tav, Davies, King, Ridvan, Raskin, Diamandi, Cantwell, McCausland, Silver and Dessers. Subs is McCrory, Dowell, Scott Wright, Roof, Barisic, Yefeko, Fraser, Lowry and McKinnon.
Did you do that right gag again?
I know, that's what I said. I don't want it again.
I know it's Tuesday, but I did a gags on here, all right?
All right, mate.
Right, so I don't think there's going to be a lot of talking points, mate. I'm actually surprised. I thought the team could be more radical. I think that's all, apart from young Leon, guys that's played an integral part in this season, every one of them. Well, maybe Davis, but you'd be surprised how many games he's been involved in as well. GB, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know, I mean, it's a strong 11, so I've got no worries about that team going out and trying to get a result tonight. I mean, it should be bread and butter for them tonight. Probably the biggest talking point out the kind of starting 11 tonight, Ox, and it'll be about attitude and application is Cantwell. It's to see how he's feeling after the weekend, and there's been a lot of talk around about him, why he didn't get a chance at the weekend and stuff like that. So I'm hoping he's got a kind of angry performance in him, that he goes out and shows the manager something tonight. Maybe not so much to ram it down his throat, but I think if Cantwell puts in hopefully a man-and-match performance, then hopefully it'll maybe make the manager realise there is something there to work with, rather than he's doing what he's doing.
Ben Davis has only started. This will be his 6th league game he started, mate. 1 substitute appearance, which had been the last game, mate, when he came on against Kilmarnock, yeah. But he's been involved in, let me see, in total, I think it's about 12 games this season, Poor return for big wages, mate, eh?
Aye, and a big outlay as well in transfer when we go home. It's don't get me wrong, Ox. At times he's looked a decent defender. He's done. I can even remember back to kind of Gio's time that he had some decent performances in Europe and that. But I just think what's his.
I must have missed the decent performances for Gio for Ben Davis. Yeah. Maybe away in PSV. Did he play that night? I'll check that out, mate.
There was one member that he had to give the goal to Seaman and stuff like that as well, and I'm sure there was one performance he had that was like kind of clearing off the line. I can't remember the game, but it was definitely the season before, when his first season, before all the injuries started creeping in and stuff like that. And there's a player there, but there's been times when him and Suter have been together in an old firm. I think I even shot myself in the foot one time saying that I needed Golson in there to help Davies. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know what his future lies, Ox. Again, I think it's just horses for courses, really. We'll see what happens at the end of the season. But again, for him tonight, it's what he wants to do as a Rangers player. Does he want to put in the performances that's going to make him stay at the club, or is he ready for his holidays as well?
He was injured the PSV game, mate. Yeah. You must have imagined that under Gio, mate. Good performances from Ben Davis.
There were very few and far between.
Yeah. His record in Europe he played against the Belgian team. We lost 2-0 and won 3-0. We played that night, and then he lost. He played in the 2 games against Liverpool and played away in Napoli, mate. So if you take the actual group stages yourself, mate, 12 3 games, 12 against him, 1-4. Yeah, but look, for the money we paid for him, I get it. And poor return, the games this season, injuries. So hopefully he can either be over them and be an asset for us, or we shake hands and maybe he'll move on. But we'll see what happens in the summer. What do you make of Diamandi, mate?
Diamandi, I think you had the nail on the head, Ox. He's a player that's learning his trade at Rangers, and it's something that we don't need. We need a boy that's ready to go. And unfortunately, I know this is a player trading model that we're looking at, but that's what worried me about Clement's press conference yesterday, was that he was saying that the remit is to look at getting more guys in like Diamandi and stuff like that. But Ox, I just think if you're getting more boys like that are kind of wet behind the ears and trying to learn their way in an Ibrox team, then we're going to see these inconsistent performances off him. Don't get me wrong, he didn't have a horrendous game at the weekend, but he's no influence in the games for me, Ox. Says maybe he's needing people run about him to help him, but for me, I would expect more in that position. When you look across the city and what they've got in there and what's driving them forward and stuff like that, that's what I want to see in my team. I want to see exciting players that are able to create something out of nothing. But I do think there's talent there, Ox. But as it stands now, I think if there was a better player in front of him, then he'd be a good bench player to come off the bench for.
Mm-hmm. I just feel that sometimes he's been exposed because he's been left in there on his own, mate. I think the system lets him down. I don't think we've seen a lot of him, but I think if we're going to keep playing that system, whoever you are, is going to have a hard job, mate. Because if you take the weekend, at times it was 3 against 1, sometimes 3 against 2. Well, decent players, and that's all we're talking about here, is what they were up against on Saturday. Decent players are going to move the ball and expose when you're 3-on-2 or 3-on-1 as it is. And I think that's the problem. And that it's the system and the shape of the system that worries me, GB. And exposes young Diamandi.
It creates that kind of rabbit in the headlights as well, because everybody else is all over the place and he's the only one that's able to pick up, you know what I mean? And then it looks as though it's him, it's no Danish job box. It's no fair. And I don't like what it says as it stands now. Like, I don't know if the system's changed, Ox. I'm a bit of a novice with the tactics and stuff like that, but when Clement came in, we looked more solider as a unit. But see, what I says recently, probably since the Motherwell game, we looked wide open, and I'm not enjoying the tactics now. I don't think the team are responding well to it, clearly, you know what I mean? And what I says for young Diamandi, to expect him to do all that kind of tracking back, covering a lot of grass, and for us to keep leaving these big wide open spaces for people to run into, then it's only got to shoot ourselves in the foot. And I don't think even if you bought a £10 million player and you put him in there beside Diamandi that you're going to sort that kind of tactic out. You've got to really, I think you've got to go the way we were with Gerrard. You mean that way that you've seen that kind of Galatasaray passing football? That's what I want to see back at Rangers. I mean, I always look back now and wonder what happened to that kind of system that we had then. You mean we're playing.
It was a 4-3-3, mate. A traditional 4-3-3 where your midfield shuffled and moved across. You know, the wide player went to the side of the ball where he was. The centre mid came across, and the other guy came in to support the centre mid, and you moved as a three, and that's what they do. And then your system is. It's got your three in front of them with the two people set up, and your midfield's meant to be supplemented by the two fullbacks. But if you're defending, the fullbacks are back, and then Lundstrom goes back in, traditionally sits with next to the centre halves. Diamandi's in front of him, and Cantwell or Lawrence usually are in front of him, and you end up nobody either side of Diamandi. Just the way I see it, mate. Right, we better get these phone lines open and see if anybody wants to use a phone, mate.
Aye, mate, let's see if there's still Rangers fans out there.
Aye, let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Aye, I'd like a wee bit more youth on the game, and I understand what the manager's trying to do. You know, he wants results and try to get a bit of confidence into the group, into the squad, hopefully, you know. But I'd like to see maybe the boy McKinnon get a chance. We know what McCausland can do, but I'd like Cole to maybe get a start in that position to see how he gets on. Yeah, I know he's more a traditional midfielder, but it'd have been interesting to see how he gets on, mate. Just the way I'm thinking, mate.
Even young Yefeko as well, Ox. I mean, that boy's looked decent at times as well. I know maybe not it's the game of the night to fling him in, but he's had, like I say, chances in that B team and stuff like that, and King's been more a kind of bench warmer, so I'm surprised that he's not getting a wee nod as well, but maybe that's a thing for maybe the second half, we'll see. But aye, now's the time, Ox, isn't it? I think even Port said last night that it's time to find new heroes, Ox, and hopefully, what I say is, out of these two games, somebody pops up. I mean, it's just out the blue and starts to look like a player that we can take forward with. You know what I mean? I hope out of the youth system there is, like I says, gems there waiting for us, Ox, because this summer rebuild's not got to be cheap, and I don't think we've got the money to do it, mate.
There's a lot of free wages coming our way, mate, yeah. A lot of people leaving the club on hefty salaries, mate. It's just spending your money wisely and getting the right people in. And that's the hardest thing at a football club. You know. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what it takes us. 4 Englishmen in my team tonight, you know. It's the blend, getting the blend right. I've read about that, and myself, I talked about on the show about getting Rangers supporters in the team. But I was speaking to a wise man this evening, and he says to me, I don't care as long as they're good enough, mate, going forward. Yeah, and we've got too many players that just quite haven't made the mark for various reasons, GB, but we fell off a cliff the last 6 weeks or so, and whether we can get ourselves back up that cliff in the next couple of weeks remains to be seen, mate.
Aye. I says you're looking for a reaction tonight, Ox. Like you says, most of that starting 11 is first team picks. So again, these boys should be coming in angry for the weekend, wanting to make an example. Hopefully, Dundee. Again, Dundee was a hurtful result that when we were away at them, Ox. So I says a lot of fans turn up tonight, having to leave work early and stuff like that. I hope they go out and, like I says, give a performance and, like I says, some classy goals. That's what I'm looking for the night. But probably more so, as a result, like you say, is to kind of kickstart that feel-good factor again. But if they don't, Ox, then like I say, I think that it's just got to add some pressure to what folk think about Clermont, you know what I mean, with the tactics and stuff like that.
I don't disagree, mate. I hope it doesn't go, because you want their team to do well. But if anything was to go slightly wrong tonight, Phil is under scrutiny, and it's the nature of the job, mate.
Aye, that's it. Like I say, we've got a much stronger team than what Dundee have got out there tonight, Ox. And like I say, we've got one of our best players back on the park, which is Cantwell. So, again, no excuses tonight. Dessers, to be fair, at the weekend, he got his goal and stuff like that, worked hard. So, again, it's up to him to keep showing that he's got to be that guy going forward as well. Silva, been hot and cold. He's only got really 2 games, maybe 3 games left with Rangers. He'll want to take something for these games as well to show that he's still got a career after Rangers in a sense. You know what I mean? No going back to Wolves to sit on a bench. So, there's opportunities there, Ox, for everybody tonight, and it's up to them to take it. And I'll be watching close to see who's up for the fight.
I don't think that's maybe the learning. That's the learning curve, mate. We brought Silver in, who potentially has got potential, mate. But he wasn't even ready. And was he any better than any of our prospects in the youth, or would they contributed more? I don't know, mate. I really don't.
No, good point, Ox. Again, you look at McKinnon, when he came in, he didn't do anything really wrong in that kind of Benfica game stuff like that. He had to step up to the mark, and maybe this is what it is, Ox. Maybe we just need to let them try and step up to the mark, because we'll never know. We can't just keep letting these boys either go out to lower leagues and loan, and then eventually the contract runs down and we let them go. It's been a total waste of their time and our time, you know what I mean, and money. I think we've got to try and start to see a wee bit of blood coming through, and even if it's squad players, and it's good to have Rangers boys about as that. I mean, young McCausland, he's got something about him, but you can tell that boy's got to need time. And if that time is basically coming off the bench all at the time, then fair dues, he'll pick up the minutes as he can, but he'll be running about hopefully a winning squad, and he'll develop that way. But I don't think we've got the money, Ox, as I said earlier, to keep just going out and refreshing a squad and spending vast amounts of money that clearly we didn't have in January, Ox, and that's maybe why we had to go into the loan market and look at the likes of Silva and stuff like that to try and shore up the attack, which...
Remember, mate, that you can only spend so much with financial fair play, mate. It's not that we've not got money. It's only you're allowed to spend so much, and we used all the budget this summer, mate.
Aye.
So you can't go again, mate, because it's in the same accounts.
Mm-hmm. No, that's what I mean, mate. No, I get that. That's what I'm saying. With the loans, that's why we've had to use loans and stuff like that, and the financial fair play, the squad, that numbers that we've got as well. You mean, you've got to prove that what you're spending and all that. But I know new budgets will come in the summer and stuff like that, and that's averaging about 14 million and all that. But I just hope that Big Phil spends the money wisely, because if it goes wrong again, Ox, then we're just going to be in the same position a year down the line, I think.
Well, we should be in a better place, mate. If we get it right, there's a lot of factors in it, mate. A lot of factors in it. Whether we get recruitment right, and getting people in the team, getting the right players in, getting the right blend, sorting out the fitness, a lot of things. Anyway, talking about somebody who's always fit and always up for it, probably John Brandy for Leeds, even Andrew.
I don't know about up for it after the weekend, right enough, but you can only keep going forward with it now. They've let us down badly, and there's nothing we can say. I thought you did brilliantly, lads, last night. I really did. We can't have been easy after that. And was it Saturday we played them? Was it not? Aye. So I'm looking for a night.
It's never easy, Andy. When we don't.
No. It's let's just say it's you get into the end of your tether with this right enough now. I certainly am spineless to get away when it was in my hands, but it's not about that. My point I've got here tonight, I'm looking at they've seen the team. Couldn't do any other really. But I'm looking for Raskin to try and put in 2 good performances tonight and on
Can I ask you
Saturday when we
something,
play
Andy?
Hearts.
See if Raskin has 2 good games and shows mobility, will you get more angry or less angry?
Oh, it's a bit of both because I think on Raskin and Cantwell, I think he just doesn't like him, and I think he's not treating him properly, in my opinion. I might be totally wrong. The reason I want Raskin to do well is because I want him to make that Scottish Cup final. I don't want that Scouse guy anywhere near a Rangers shirt again, in my opinion. So I'd like to see Raskin, and for him, because we might have to keep him, because I don't know where the money's coming for all these players. There will be wages freed up, and I don't like the market that they keep saying that they're going to tap into the South American market. Don't work. South Americans do not work in Scottish football. I genuinely believe that. You know.
I thought you were a big fan of Brazilian.
Aye. Only one Brazilian, but not the ones, I'll tell you. But no.
GB, you come in. Carry on, Andy.
Yeah, so I just want to see Rangers just come out, open up, and have a go. Nothing more we can do now, and try and get a good result with a few goals tonight.
It's frustrating, mate. Anyway, we've enjoyed Bill Davey. How we doing, mate?
How you doing, boys? Hey, Andy. How you doing?
Hi, bud.
How you keep? I must say you handled the euphoria well, Ox. So I think some of it, I know it's a great show for viewing your points, but I thought some of the points were out of order. And I can't get this in my head. I can understand where it's coming from, but to start talking about the manager, that's unbelievable.
What he has, David, what he has done is that let anybody who plays, if you're not winning big games of football, you're always going to be under pressure. I think, in your camp, it's too young, it's too early, and let him try and put his own team together over the summer, and then he'll be judged better. But he has, because of the run of results, not just Saturday, the run of results the last 6 weeks, mate. He's under a wee bit of pressure, and that comes with the job, mate.
But the thing is, Ox, as well, I mean, he's getting in the net because he put on the same midfield near enough as the last time. But he's got a point there where he's got that squad. I mean, up to the Motherwell game, he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Everybody was saying, "What do you think? What's this guy? What's he doing right?" Now all of a sudden he's ready for the bin. No, I don't wear that at all. I think that's totally out of order. You know, the ones he was a lot of players short there, and we were flying at that time, and the players that were doing it all get sort of nobbled at the one time, and then after the Motherwell game, they just couldn't get it back together again. But jumping on the manager's back, that's not the answer, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Aye, David. No, David, I think I'm not so much jumping on the manager's back. Where I'm more annoyed with him is just some of his decision making, like, say, the whole Cantwell thing. Like, Cantwell seems to be one of these ones that's been a bit like a whipping boy. I mean, he's been taken off at half time and because he's not been following instructions and stuff like that. And when you look about the squad, at certain performances there the last couple of weeks, certain folk. I mean, I'm a big Tav fan, but like, say, some of the stuff he's been doing, Golson's been doing, Lundstrom's been doing. And then there at the weekend, Tom Lawrence again gets his start against Celtic when he's kind of been coming back for injury and he's not been showing it as much as what Cantwell has. And then Cantwell doesn't even get a sniff. And then for the manager to come out after that and say that it wasn't a game for Cantwell, I mean, Cantwell's one of your most dangerous players. You would think, in that game, you're trying to sniff for that last 10 minutes for a draw. Just fling him on. I mean, he's putting on Roof and he's putting on Wright and he's putting on McCausland in front of Cantwell. And that's what baffles me sometimes. I would rather have Cantwell on, and at least then you might even have I mean, Cantwell's proven that he can shoot from outside the box and score good goals. And he's obviously scored against Celtic before. I just couldn't understand sometimes you leave a great player on the bench. Well, I say great player, a good player on the bench and not even put him into one of your biggest games ever.
I agree with what you're saying, son, but I just don't think he had much options there because Cantler's not been playing that great. But I agree with you what he's saying about. But that's the bit he's getting hung out to dry on. But see, when I heard the team, I mean, this is all irrelevant because it's in the past. It's done. It's the night that we're concerned about. But when I heard the team for Saturday, I heard the back four. I said, "There's a car crash," and it turned out like that. And then for their back four to the middle, just weren't there. And we can make this and make that and make excuses and say, if he'd have done this and he'd have done that. They didn't. It's over. It's done. We move on to the night, get it right for that Mankey Mob in the cup final, and hopefully they realise where they went wrong and just pull the jersey back on again.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with. And did you think this is the night, as Ox has touched on, we're asking, it's a night for some of them to kind of stake a claim, especially for this cup final coming up?
Yeah, definitely do. Just on the manager, no, I don't trust him at all now. I think some of the stuff he's come out with is absolute garbage. The stuff he's trying to tell the Rangers fans. I don't know if he thinks he's kidding. I think he thinks we're all rednecks. I get that he has not got players to him, but he's stubborn. He's not prepared to try out. Now, anybody in the right mind, if he's a good manager or a clever manager, he certainly answers Scottish football as it stands at the moment. To leave our midfield wide open is an absolute joke. I don't care what manager does in tactics. That's not on. The stuff he's come out with is absolutely ridiculous. The comments after Dundee and Ross, the relative of what he's picked in, they didn't perform. Sterling the night before told them, more or less said, all the players in there are not trying a leg. And then he came out and said, oh, he's naive, I don't know. And then after that one with Lums, he's sorry for what he's done. I'm not going to say anything about him because he's given me some performances in the last 2 months. Excuse me, you tell me any Scouts guy, that Scouts guy gave us in the last 2 months. He's down tools, more or less, since he got told there was no contract there for him. He's baffling. We've got to stay with him. I get that. Yeah, I trust him. No chance. I don't think he's classed it at all. I don't think he's classed Scottish football at all at the minute.
It'll be judged in his recruitment. It'll be judged in his recruitment, and it's going to be interesting what he's done. And I do agree with you. He's put himself under a bit of pressure. Anyway, would you like to see more youth in the team tonight, Andy?
Would I like to see
more youth?
Yeah, it's who's he got available to him? I think the Bailey Rice guy, and that's
he's injured.
They're injured, aren't they?
That's
what I'm saying.
So,
aye, I mean, I like I know I'm going to get shot here in certain quarters, but I like the fact that Lowry's on the bench. I still think he's got a chance. All these people that keep saying he's got a bad attitude. I listened to a thing with Stevie Clifford a bit back, and he said that's just not right. He said he's more courteous guy you can talk to. Always asks about the family. It's very forthcoming, and if people want to have interviews with him. Probably right, you know what I mean? He is young, he does have that look about him right enough, but I'd like to see him get a good 30-35 minutes tonight, because I don't fancy much out of Silva, so I'll throw him on for him when the time comes up. But yeah, with a hard
players. The worst is circumstances.
Correct. And people, a lot of Rangers support tend to forget that. Life is, things get in the way, don't they?
Of course. When I've watched him, mate, I don't think he looked ready, and it's only my opinion, Andy, but I'm always right.
Yeah.
Allegedly. But I just don't think he's looked ready or consistent to play the first team. I think the same happened with Hearts. He'll show you flashes, because Davy, young Lowry's got undoubted talent, isn't he? He has got talent.
Well, if he had talent, he wouldn't have been playing more with Hearts, wouldn't he? So I don't know what Andy's on.
That was right. I think that was in the middle of his.
If he was that good, he would have been playing regularly with Hearts, but he wasn't. He's not. He has got a bad attitude.
Only time will tell, mate. Only time will tell. But what about yourself, GB? Were you looking for mid youth?
Aye, like I says, Ox, I thought not so much the midfield, Ox, because like I says, I think we still had plenty available in that, surprisingly. And up front, I don't think we've really heard anybody kind of breaking through striker-wise at youth level. Maybe Lovelace, but again, he's injured or not. So it's... Aye, we've got plenty on the bench, Ox. Hopefully, like I says, the game gets tied up early doors and we can start to get some of the youth on. Like I says, that boy Echo, anytime he's came on, he's looked a good, decent young prospect. So I'd like to see him get on the park tonight, at least for some minutes. And then, who's the other boy? McKinnon? Is it McKinnon? Aye, McKinnon as well, aye.
We don't know how good these boys are, Andy Davey. We've not seen enough of them.
No, well, they don't get a chance, do they? Yeah, I mean, I know it's a different football and all that today, but if you not give a Durant, a Ferguson, a Derek Johnson, them kind of guys a chance, same thing would have happened, but they did, and they came and they made a name for themselves, did they not? I'm not saying that these youngsters we've got now, but we never see them. We don't know. And what happens if they've got any potential? What tends to happen to these boys is they farm them out of these clubs, they get disheartened, they're hurt that they can't get a chance at Rangers, and a lot of them fade out of the game. You think about it, like they're there trying to get into the first team, trying to make their mark, and then all you see is them bringing in other players from other countries. It must be disheartening for me. I can't see, what's the incentive for these boys? They're never going to get a chance. That's what worries me going forward as well.
I get it. You know how old Davey felt up with the Cardinal. Not back. Davey.
Oh, I was up there a few times. Oh, a few birds up there. No, but what we're saying there is, just to get back to what Andrew was saying there, and you're talking about Hawks, the young boys. How many young boys in Celtic came through? You tell me that. You're on about Rangers not bringing their boys in. How many young boys is playing in Celtic? That whole team is bought. So they're not bringing anybody through, but they're still winning because they've got a better class of player. That's it.
There's one of their teams come through the ranks. Allegedly he's one of us, but that's up for debate. One of them come through the ranks with us, they're left back. Yeah.
Yeah, but you see, the problem there is, right, they're in a position where they've got money and they can do that. We're being told that we have got a model now that we're having to bring youngsters through and get them through and settle them on. So that's the model we're going with. So we'll have to try some of them, surely. You know what I mean? We ain't got the money, so we're going to have to, if we're going to have these academies and all that, there ain't no point if we're not going to try and get them into the team and get them into play for us for 2 or 3 years. And if they get set on, which I don't like as well, but that's the way the world working with football-wise now, if we get a few money, but if we're not even going to give them a try, or put them on the bench, give them half an hour here, especially with winning games, and let's see if they can, mature into good young men and go on forward for the Rangers. We're not going to try it. What's the point? This model's not going to work if you're not going to see any of them. So what they're talking about, where are we going to make the money out of it if we're not going to get a chance? That's not rocket science to me.
That's true, but to be fair, when I actually look at the team tonight, GB, I mean, if you take Butland and Davis, Dessers, the rest is quite a youthful team. Tav, King, Redvan, Raskin, Diamandi, Cantwell's mid-20s, McCausland and Silver. There is a young team for what we're used to watching, but they're all first-team players.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think they tried to do that last summer, was bring the kind of age of the squad down a bit, and so looking at that tonight, again, there should be pace and power in amongst all that, I think the Redvan Raskin thing is got to be good for us. I think that's a nice wee partnership. Diamandi, he's got legs on him that he can run as well. It's just about, getting an understanding, Ox, with this team. I think there's too many chopping and changing going on. And that, like you say, that's because of the injuries. I think, see, if we just get a settled squad with, like you say, a bit of a mixture of youth and experience, then we might actually have a team there.
Is the injuries, Davey, has that stopped your competition for places?
Oh, definitely. Well, if you look back, the way this conversation's gone tonight, we wouldn't have had this conversation unless you want to be pernickety and go back to where we were when we were running. Nobody was mourning when we took 5 half hearts. Oh, we're all going to have a drink then that night. We've had a couple of snidey results and it's went the wrong way. But that's football. That's the way it works, unfortunately. against us. And injuries is too. At the time we got these injuries, if we had just kept a few of the players that were on form, it's easy to say in hindsight, but I think we would have had a stronger chance of holding on to what we had, and it didn't work. It's gone. You got to move on.
Aye, but you've got to critique what you've got. Anyway, how's the game going to go tonight, Davey?
I think we'll do that more good tonight. I mean, I said about Saturday I was believing we would do it, but when I seen the team, I said, no, that's not going to happen. I think we'll win about 3-0 tonight.
Andy, you got your bet on?
Nah, I'm not bothered right enough. We're going to try and save some money. I'll lump it all on the Scottish Cup final.
Well, we're going to do a Super 6 special tonight, but we thought the bookies would needed a rest.
Oh, don't get me started on the Super 6. I've won nothing off of that one. Dear me. You like to come back with a better angle next season, I think.
Oh no, mate. Oh no. It's worth it, mate. It's worth it. Trust me.
Well, it's funny, right enough, but when I keep looking in my pocket, it's no.
I know I'm all in myself. GB, how's the game going tonight?
Oh, I'm with Davey. I think we're going to absolutely spank this mob tonight, hopefully, and it'll be a kind of an angry performance, Ox. I think there'll be a lot of boys there who came in for the call that will be excited to get on the park and show their talents, hopefully. And like I says, Cantwell's kind of been out in the cold as well. He'll be hopefully eager to impress as well. So, like I says, I'm going with the same as Davey, a 3-0 result tonight.
3-0. They're very optimistic, Andy, aren't they?
Yeah, but I'm looking for more than that, to be honest with you. I just want these guys to come in and prove themselves. I want a good squad just to pick us up right enough and then, go and do what we've got to do on Saturday. And then, really work up for the, what's got to be, surely they're not going to, with their back against it, no, but surely they're not going to lay down on them again and let the season finish in the manner that it can do. You know what I mean?
Can I just say something, Andy?
Yeah.
We're talking there about, and this is for Ox and the young man. We're talking about players down in tools, right? But I tell you this, the support will never down tools. And that's where you've got to be strong. And while we criticise them, we're all due to criticise if they need it, they get it, but we move on. And we will never down tools.
David, I get all that. I'll never down tools. Rangers are my life. They always have been. They always will be. But you keep getting kicked in the omos all the time. It hurts a bit. You know what I mean? So it takes you time to recover. I know that, especially the last few years.
And somebody keeps sending me photographs to prove how much your Rangers supporter is.
Aye, look, we just hope that we're going to get it right. We're near wriggle room at all now. This has to be right, because if this don't go right, we're level trophies, one league in front. We've got to start putting it on now and start getting back to where we belong. I think we all want that, don't we?
Yeah, you're right, Andy. I'm just being a wee bit more, no optimistic, but no pessimistic either. I mean, when you get to my age, I'm just happy to waking up in the morning.
Well, I understand that. Understand that. So, anyway, gentlemen, we'll reach that. Last word for yourself quickly, Andy boy.
Let's just get a good result here and, try and lift some doom and gloom, let's get good performances out of the ones that are coming in. And maybe Mick Clement think about it, you know what I mean? If they can put in two good performances, it gets a team selection for the cup final, does it not? If he's watching what we're hoping that the guys are going to do. So we'll move forward and see where we go with
it. Davey.
Yes, this is for every Rangers supporter on the planet. 4 words. We are the people. Good night, guys.
Cheers, Davey boy. GB.
Brilliant, obviously. Good to be first half of the show, and great to have Andy and Davey on. And as Davey's said there, let's go and do them tonight. Let's enjoy
policy,
this.
GB. They're their youth policy.
Let's enjoy this youthful performance tonight and hopefully spank them.
All right, thanks to your good self. Thanks to Andy and Davey for joining us. 2 of our stalwarts. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back 15 minutes after the final score, celebrating the Rangers victory. Take it away, Old school boy.
The famous RFC. Na 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 na.